Hi there, this is Luise Heinzel. Welcome to my channel Junk Journal Art. Nice to see you here. Today I have another flip through of this Dragonfly Lover's Notebook that I've just finished. So this was a custom order and I'm just sitting here at my desk and saying a little goodbye to this journal. So I thought I would like to take you to a little flip through this journal. So if you are interested in some new ideas perhaps or some inspiration for a dragonfly themed journal, then this video is for you. So this is a hardcover book that I used, so I removed the pages, yeah, as you know how we always do it, and then I covered this here with fabric. So I used this rose fabric because I thought that this would fit this theme really well. So as you can see, here are no dragonflies on the cover. I decided that I want to have it, yeah, a little bit hidden. I mean, that theme. So I thought I would like to try to go this way with this lace and that stuff. This reminds me a little bit to the wings of the dragonflies. So I used that. And here on the spine, you can see this little thing here. I made this out of an old necklace that I bought on a flea market a few years ago. And it was always in my stash and waited for the right moment to use it. And yeah, now here it is. I think this red goes really well with this other colors here in the fabric. It's the same red here on the bottom. So yeah, don't know if my camera can catch that, but believe me, please, this is the same red. And so I thought that would fit really well. Then I've attached this metal label holder here with this little flower so that the new owner can write what she wants here. I also attached this book corners here because I thought this pattern and also the color fits really well to this fabric. And as you perhaps can see, this original book cover was a little bit too small for the pages. So I've used some of my own printables as well because, yeah, the lady who wanted to have this journal has chosen that. What's this? This is art. Sorry, I have to cut that later. So, and I printed those printables to an A4 sheet, folded that in half so that I have DIN A5 for the pages. And this cover was a little bit too small. So I made a little trick with this fabric here and the first and the last signature. So perhaps that's also an idea for you if your cover is too small. So let me explain how I did that. So we have, I think 11, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, yes. We have 11 signatures in here. And the first and the last signature have this special thing that makes the journal a little bit wider so that the pages here are, yeah, totally, how can you say that? They are totally covered by this sturdy material here. So when you open this, you can see it's like this. And yeah, as you can see, this has the right size and this is a little bit smaller. But yeah, when you look like this, you think this is one. And when you open it, you can see that it is like this. So I took this piece here, like so, and it's only, it's only in this first signature. So this is the first and the last page in the first signature. That's a little bit bigger than the other pages. So I think you can see that here, this is DIN A5, and this is a little bit bigger so that this thing here makes, yeah, this illusion of this cover. Hopefully that makes sense. I think you can do that with any cover that you have that is too small. Just take a piece of scrapbooking paper like I did here, and you can attach something like this. So this is a really heavy material, a really heavy fabric, so that this is really sturdy. So the end of this paper feels, yeah, nearly like a hardcover. So I first glued that here. Then I made this little pocket here and folded this around this corner, and then I have sewn it here so that this is really, really sturdy. So it protects the pages really well. So now here you have little a pocket and then here the first signature begins. I have used several of my digital printable papers here. So for example, this one and also this one. I will not tell you every name of the digitals in detail because I think it's impossible to remember that, but I will link everything down below in the description box so that you can check that out. So there are different printables that have this dragonfly theme, and yeah, you can see sometimes here you have dragonflies, and I mixed that a little bit to make this more interesting and to get the most possible amount of dragonflies into this journal. And this journal also has lots of writing space. So as you can see, some of the pages are just like they came out of my printer. I only added some golden splatters here and there, as you can see here on the scrapbooking paper, or here, for example. Hopefully you can see that. So I wanted to give it this, this elegant look that I think dragonflies have also. Do you know what I mean? So I decided to splatter this golden things here, and this is the last page of this signature. As you can see, this is also bigger than this one, so yeah, it's like so. But I think this page is not really a problem because we know that we have different sizes of papers in a junk journal, so I think this is a really cool solution. If you need tutorial about how to do that, or if you want to know some details about how I made this exactly, then please leave a comment and I will try to do my best to show you that in detail. I can make a tutorial for that, of course. So here is another page from my printables. I've added this little doily here because here's a doily in the printable as well, and I wanted to have this little bit layered and touchable, or how can you say that? Okay, so here we have some, oopsala, that's only because of this golden splatters. I've just finished this, and the splatters are dry, have dried a second ago, so sometimes it's a little bit sticky, but it's only because of that watercolor that I used. And here we have a pocket. I left many of those pockets empty so that the new owner can put their own stuff there. So the same with this little things here. When I make a journal for myself, I would probably add some stenciling here or a little piece of artwork of myself or that stuff, but I left it so that she can add her own things. The same with this circle die cuts here. So I thought when she has this, she can add something here that you can see through this hole, or she could also write a little quote here or use this quote stickers and put something here so that you can see it through this hole. But I want her to do that. So she shall have the most possible joy with this journal. Some Edith Holden pages are in here as well, and I'm really proud that I can say that, I think the first time in my life, because this book here is really new in my stash. I have never had some Edith Holden things before, but the other day I found this really old version of it on an online flea market. Sorry. Here I made this little tuck spot thingy. So let me just grab something that I can show you how this goes. So you can put something in here. So like, some kind of a belly band, and you can take something smaller and put it into this pocket like so. This is some eco-dyed paper, and it's really, really gorgeous. As you can see, that came in a happy mail a few months ago. And I always, I hoarded it a little bit, even if I'm not this typical hoarder person. But this is so gorgeous, and it's the same as with this thing here. It has waited for the right moment that I could use it, and I think this looks absolutely fantastic here. So in combination with this paper here, I think it's really cool. This is one of my printables as well. This is brand new. It will be available in my shop when this video goes online. And I printed that to some vellum paper and backed it with a book page to make this pocket. And I think that looks really, really cool. So there are some more pages of this printable in here. The next is coming here in a second. This is also from one of my printables. And I lightly use some stenciling with white gesso, as you can see probably here. And here I also added this gorgeous golden watercolor that Barbara has sent to me. So Barbara, if you're watching, I love this color and I love this watercolor itself. It's so cool and it's so versatile, and you can, I think, make every book page into a piece of art within seconds. It's really, really cool. So this is one of these upholstery florals printed on vellum paper, and I think it looks really cool when this book pages come through here. So this lettering of the book pages, I think that's really, really nice. And yeah, so I used old book pages and in different you know, different languages and also different lettering. And yeah, so it's together, it's this thing here. And the person who has ordered this said she would like to have dragonflies, and I shall decide about the colors. And that was not so easy because, as you can see here, I used very much of this yellow and this green. I thought that goes really, really well together. I love this combination. And I don't know why, but yellow and green are the colors that I how is it called? Assoziieren in German. You know what I mean. When I think about dragonflies, I think about yellow and green. I don't know why, but yeah. It's strange. It's really strange. And all those colors that you can additionally see in the bodies of dragonflies, I think it's the whole color palette. So I tried to use other colors as well. In my Dragonfly Lovers notebook printable, so this is one of the pages from this printable, I did that the same. You can see this yellow here, but you can also see oranges and other colors. And I think it's not so easy to bring this into harmony in a journal. But I think I managed it. So hopefully you see it the same. So here's a pocket as well. And I did many of those clusters here. I had some leftovers from cutting the pages to the right size. So I used all those leftovers and made some of these things here, of these little snippet roll things. And so that's also some kind of a theme that goes through the whole journal. So here's a pocket as well, and here also. So if you are new to junk journaling and you don't know how you can bring such a thing into one theme, so do you know what I mean? So if you have this problem that you have some kind of different materials, for example, this blue, this yellow, and another page from a printable, and you don't know how to bring that into this context, then those snippet rolls out of the scraps of the papers that you have used in the journal can be really, really, really helpful. So, for example, here, I used the same scraps as on my other snippets here, but I added this little fabric piece here. Don't know if you can see that this is fabric. So I made this little ruffle thing here in between. And this has exactly the same color that is in this page. And you can see a variation of these colors in these flowers here. So that this, excuse me, that this whole thing makes sense. And these snippets go through the whole journal. And for my opinion, this makes a theme for itself and brings this whole things together. So here's a pocket as well. It's a little bit difficult with this piece of paper. Why haven't I... Yeah. Don't discuss that with yourself, Louise. Just go on. So here I've used some book pages that I just cut, because I thought this could be an inspirational thing as well for the new owner to add their own, her own stuff. I backed that with some coffee dyed paper that I made the other day when the sun was shining really, really bright. I took some stencils, put them to the coffee dyed paper, and then I dried that in the sun so that you get this really cool patterns. And I also used this time some glossy pages from some books like this one here, for example, because I think this dragonfly theme and this golden splatters that are, yeah, some kind of glossy as well. Don't know if you can see that in the camera, but that goes really well with glossy book pages, I think. And I think if this is not too much glossiness in one journal, it's okay for me. Hopefully for the new owner as well. So here I did this little trick again. I made this little corner tuck here, so you can put something inside here. And I added here some tea bag scraps and some scraps that you can find on the other pages as well to bring this context with the scraps and also the context with the colors here, so that this goes to this blue page, yeah, like some kind of a color bridge. You can see this yellow here, here, and here, and here, so that this goes, yeah, you know. Hopefully that makes sense. On some of the pages, so this is also one of my printables. It comes from my steampunk printable. I put this golden paint here a little bit, yeah, not like splatters, but in some areas, yeah, as you can see here perhaps. And it makes this, yeah, it feels really, really, really cool. And it gives this page some kind of elegance that's, yeah, that fits to this dragonfly theme. So yeah, this is a brand new printable as well, what you can see here. I will list all that stuff down below, as I said, so that you can check that out. And here we have this yellow that goes really well with this page from an atlas. I think that's, yeah, a really cool combination. And of course the snippets here again, so that we can get a context to the next pages and go back to this more muted colors, for example on this eco-dyed paper here. Here we have another tag. Yeah, I did the same like with this other tag. This is the rest of this book page, so that you can, yeah, write something here or make some mixed media stuff and use this as a starting point for your own creativity. So it's a little bit hidden here. And these book pages that I've used here for those pockets are really, really old. So I think this is from 1802, or I am not totally sure, but this comes from a religious book, and I made it into this pocket, and then I, yeah, folded this so you can also, is this a pocket as well? No, here not, but in some other spots I have the same pocket like this, so that you can put something in here and here as well. And yeah, here are some, I would say, hidden things where you can put your stuff in as well. So this could be an embellishment by itself, but it's a pocket here. So I mean a little tuck, and here as well, so you can put things into here. And I also added some ruffles that don't peek out of the book, like you can see here. And here I took some permanent ink and stamped to the fabric after I have sewed it like this. I like this, yeah, this stamped fabric things. That's, I think, really, really cool. And as I said, I used really much of my scrap stash. So here you can see things that were laying around here on my desk, and I used those to make these little embellishments so that you can, when you write in such a journal, add a date here and make your journaling here, for example, where this space is, and you can use this as a starting point for writing, for painting, for making some sketches or whatever. So this is a pocket as well. And yeah, I think this also. Yeah, so, and I'm really a little bit sad to give this journal away, because yeah, it was some kind of me time for me, because I have not filmed any tutorials about how I made the single things here. Normally you would see me recording some videos about what I'm doing here, but that time I thought I would like to have this time for myself to create this journal, and it was really relaxing, but I missed you as well. So I think the next time when I make a journal, I will take you with me again, and I will show you the single steps or some of the steps. So it's a little bit also a strange feeling to sit here and watch some craft videos on YouTube. So I've watched many of your videos. So if you are watching and you have a YouTube channel, you can be sure that I've watched your video as well, that you have uploaded the other days. Because yeah, I wanted to have someone with me, and when I'm recording, I have the feeling you are with me. My camera can't catch that golden paint. It's really strange, but it looks so cool on this eco-dyed paper. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so when I'm recording a video, then I have the feeling that you are here with me. So I mean, when I'm sitting here and I'm talking to myself, it feels like you are here and you are listening, and you are perhaps have joy with me with this journal. And when I'm sitting alone here and I am creating this, then I have the feeling that I have someone to be with me here in some way, and to watch other YouTube craft channels. It's really cool, because yeah, then I have the feeling that those people are here. It's a little bit strange, but it's also a really cool feeling. So yeah, I think this page, I don't know, but this page is some kind of yummy. So here we have some cookies. So this is a page that had these colors that were matching the rest. So I cut that you can't see on the first glance that these are cookies, but when you have this here and the rest, I mean, here are flowers, here's some writing, but the whole thing looks really yummy and really cookie-ish to me. And I think it's also because of this stencil here. I glued this yellow paper, and then I took this stencil and went around here so that this gets this frame. I think that makes it much more interesting. And I don't know if you know that overseas, but here in my area we have such little cookies. They are called butter cakes. That means butter cookie, and those have these little things here. This, yeah, it looks nearly like a stamp, this little cookie, and that's, I think, the reason why I want to eat this page. It looks really delicious. Yeah. Sometimes I'm a little bit strange, I know, but you wouldn't watch my videos if you don't know that. So here we have a little notebook as well. This is attached here to the page, so you can't take that out. All these little notepads that I've made here, this time I attached them here. But you can, of course, tear this here and tear the paper, use the scraps for something else. And yeah, I think that would be also really a cool idea. And then you have this here, perhaps until here, left over, but it looks like an embellishment also when you, even if you tear this. By the way, this here is a really cool thing. This was originally coffee dyed paper, as you can see here on the top. And then I took some distress oxides to, so I mean, this paper originally was the protection for my table. And I used some other coffee dyed papers to put that on top, and I tried something out. It was a totally failed technique. But this paper protected my desk, and in the end, I came up with this cool reaction of the oxide ink here, and I think in combination with this gold, it looks really, really elegant and really cool. So sometimes, yeah, the papers that protect your desk are the best, I think. So here we have this little notepad as well. This gesso has just dried, so if you want to do that and you go with your stencil over such a layered thing, don't worry, but just let the gesso dry, and then you can take it apart really easily, as you could see a second ago, and then you have this pattern all over this scraps. And I think this protection paper here that I've just talked about goes really well with the next page. So I tried to get this colors here from this dragonfly that you can see through this die cut that I made into this atlas page. We have these green things here as well. And this here was also, yeah, some kind of a fail, this piece here underneath. I wanted to try out a new Distress Oxide ink pad that I had, and I just wanted to make a little sample by taking the ink pad and making this movement on a paper to see how the color comes out. And I didn't realize that that was such a special, some kind of handmade paper. I didn't realize that it was not a normal paper, and when I spritzed water to see this oxide effect of the ink, then I realized that the color went into every direction. That was really, really cool, but yeah, it was some kind of a fail because I did it accidentally, but I think this goes really well with this color and with this thing here that is peeking through this hole. And also this little scrap here is not an accident, but it's here. I put it here because I wanted to have this 1, 2, 3 thing here through this page. Yeah. There are sometimes so many little thoughts in such a journal that I think, yeah, a normal human being can't see. So I know you are not normal, so you know how I mean that, and you can see those things. And I think when you make journals by yourself, you will think about those things as well, those little things. And when I tell those things in detail, I do that, of course, for all the beginners and all the people who are new to the junk journaling theme and perhaps just started their first adventure on making a junk journal. So that's the reason why I'm sometimes explaining what I thought during the process in detail. So hopefully it's interesting for you. So you can, of course, leave a comment if you think it's too long or if you think it's helpful. Please let me know what you think about that. And please, if you do watercolor splashes to your journal, don't close it too early. It's, yeah, it was so exciting for me to finish this up, so that I sometimes closed the pages too early, especially with these a little bit glossy pages of Atlas and this, yeah, you know, it's glossy and then it sticks a little bit, but yeah, you can take it apart really easily. You have to do it carefully, but it's no problem. And here, I think I love this golden splatters on this. Yeah, that's the second part of this protection paper. It's so cool. I absolutely love this. I'm totally in love with this gold and the turquoise. It's, yeah, really, really cool. I think I have to make a journal only in this colors. Perhaps that would be a great idea. Yeah, so here you can probably see that even if you have dyed your paper with coffee first and put a lace on top. So I took this plastic lace thing and I got a really light pattern from this plastic lace. Perhaps you can see that. And even if you then put Distress Oxide to it, the pattern stays where it was. I don't know if you can see that on the other page better. No, here's nothing. This was the page where the lace was on top. But it's really cool that this pattern stays there. I don't know why, but yeah, it's really, really awesome, I think, because then you can make these things also a little bit more interesting and dress your papers up a little bit. And also this thing here was, yeah, I think some kind of a try. I had some of this Amazon packaging paper and I took the same lace, this plastic lace that I used for this paper, and I just put the Distress Oxide ink directly from the ink pad on top of the lace, then spritzed water, and then I took this Amazon packaging paper and put it on top. And the good thing about this paper is that it soaks really fast. Yeah, so I mean, this Distress Oxide goes into the paper really fast, but it stops also really fast. So when you have that and you dry it directly after pressing it, then you get this really cool abstract pattern, but you can also still see that it was lace one time. I think that's a cool effect. So if you want to have a tutorial about how I made this, please let me know in the comments. I can explain that a little bit more in detail if you want, and can show you how I did that exactly. Yeah, so here you can see the same pattern of the same lace like here. And yeah, you can see this is made with coffee, and then I put it into the sun and got this this pattern here. It's really awesome. I think it's really awesome. And yeah, then I found out that I really, really like to have vellum paper in my journals. I think this is the first journal I've used that yeah, so I mean that I printed on it. So this paper here comes from my shop as well. And I printed the first time on this paper, and then I decided to make these scraps here that go to the other side as well. And I really, really love this look that you can see here, the back side of this floral patterned paper. Excuse me, please. That looks really cool. I think I have another page here. Here it's a little bit more extreme, so you can see the back side through it here, and the other piece here. I think that looks really, really cool. What do you think? Hopefully you see it the same. Yeah. So here I also have some pages that are free for own creativity. As you can see, I did nothing here because, yeah, I want the new owner to be creative in this journal. So here we have this religious book page made into a pocket again, and here you can tuck something behind here as well, some tinier things. Here I added this little birdie here to my mushroom paper, and I think that looks really, really cool, especially with this gold. Hopefully you can see this gold. I don't know. I will post some pictures of this journal on my Instagram as well. So if you want to see some closer looks to some of the embellishments and that stuff, and especially this golden paint, how that comes out, and if you want to see those things that my camera can't catch, then please go to my Instagram. I'm at Louise Heinzel on Instagram. It's written down in the description box, of course, as well. So if you want, I would be really, really happy if you would like to follow me there. And I'm posting, yeah, photos and that stuff regularly, so that you can get some more inspiration perhaps, or you can also, of course, save the images and come back later, and yeah, you know what you can do with Instagram things. So I would love to see you there. So look at this. This also is some of those pieces that are in my stash, so that have been in my stash for a very, very long time. And if you see this piece by itself without the journal around, then you think, okay, it's totally cool. It's really, really cool. It's some kind of a fabric thing, and it has this gorgeous stuff on it, but how the heck can I use that? And yeah, I think when you see such a single piece, then sometimes you can't imagine the theme. When I found this while I was working on this journal, I thought, yeah, of course, this is dragonfly themed. This is a dragonfly themed fabric, even if there are no dragonflies printed or, but yeah. And I think sometimes it's just the process of doing something, and yeah, you have to perhaps go through your stash and see what you have without searching. And that's something that I always try to encourage the people to do. So especially those people who are new to junk journaling. And I think there are many people outside who are new to this and who perhaps were some card makers or scrapbookers before they have found this junk journaling hobby, or yeah, how can you say that? This passion. Sometime it becomes a passion, definitely. And especially for those people, you collect things because you know, okay, this old book, this paper, this piece of a gel print, I can use that someday, and you collect it. And then you have a collection of things. And it's sometimes so hard, I think, to get this into an order, into a theme. And when you search for something, you can be sure that you don't find it in your stash, even if you have it. And that's that was the point for me as well, that I started not to search everything before I start making the journal, but I start in some points, choosing a color palette, for example, this yellow and this green. It was clear for me before I started anything. And then I do this step by step and go through my stash over and over again. I'm standing in front of my bookshelf, and I'm taking out my books, and I'm going through the books over and over again until I find something. Yeah, for example, that was not in a book, but you know what I mean. This thing here that I just showed you. So this was somewhere in my stash, and I think just by sitting here and thinking about it, I would never come to the idea to use this. But when I go to my shelf and look into my boxes, then I get this imagination in my brain. So just by seeing it, touching it, holding it next to the other pages, so that some kind of an imagination can come to my brain. I don't know if that makes sense. And here, and I'm so sad that I made that. So this is the 10th signature, and here is the last one. And when I have sewn in the signatures here in this point, I came to the idea to sew in those little scraps here of fabric. So let me just bring it like so. I just took those and went through them with my thread that I used to sew the signature in. But please, can you tell me that this looks really cute? Have you seen that before? I mean, we sometimes see those butterflies in the middle of a signature. Some people do that in every middle of a signature, especially, of course, in butterfly themed journals, but they put that butterfly here, one wing is here and the other wing is here. But have you ever seen that with fabric? I don't know. Please tell me if you have ever seen that. I was so proud that I found that out, and I'm just curious if you have seen that. And I think I want to put this into here like so. I did this with coffee and a stencil as well. Here's this eco-dyed paper in the background, and yeah, you can see this scrappy theme goes all through the journal. And I also like to use up my scraps in exactly this way, because yeah, why shall I collect everything that's around my finished journal and put it into a box of my scraps when I can make a color bridge like this here with these scraps? Why shall I put them into a box and wait for the right project? So I like to use those thingies in the journal, and I think sometimes you can get really, really cool little pieces of special things with just some scraps. And yeah, perhaps that's a tip for you if you are a beginner. So here we have this die cut circle here as well, and here I made it so that this little insect here can be seen through this, and I made it here like this so that the new owner can get some inspiration, so she can see how she could do it with the other circles that you have seen on the other pages, so that she can have some kind of an idea. I don't know how for example, I don't know if she ever made a junk journal by herself. I'm not sure. So I thought I would like to give her some things to start in such a journal. And yeah, so that was the reason why I did it like this. And perhaps you remember this piece here. We made that together in my advent calendar from the last year. So this was door number... I can't remember. I think I can't remember. Sorry. So this is now in here because I thought this would look really, really nice here. This is a pocket here and a tuck spot here. And sometimes, yeah, that's the same thing. I had this in my stash forever. So since last December, it was here. And it was waiting for the right journal. Okay, so this is the last signature. Here I did the same trick like on the first to make this a little bit bigger and to have this thing here on the back side as well to enlarge the cover. And yeah, so I think that's also a cool thing. This paper is a scrapbooking paper. Sorry, I think I mentioned that in the beginning. And I normally don't like to have those thick things in my journals. I like to use this normal copy paper or this transparent paper. I don't like this in the other signatures, but here I think it's okay for me, and it is some kind of a section in the beginning and in the end of this journal that's some kind of a separate thing, so that you can use, for example, this signature to write some special things. You can divide this journal into different sections and themes, for example. You could also put some page tabs here and there to get this a little bit organized. And I think for that reason, it's really cool that this is scrapbooking paper, because this feels like one section for itself. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. And oh, even if I'm sure that she will not watch this video, because I don't know exactly if she understands English, but there was, I have to say that because that was so cute, there was a really, really cute journal friend from Germany who sent me those die cuts. So you have never seen me using those round and this, yeah, things here, die cuts, because I haven't had those things in my stash. And during our collaboration with those other artists where we made one junk journal together. I think you all know what I'm talking about. We did that a few weeks ago. There were some die cuts that were made by the other artists that had this little stitching thing around. So you can lightly see that here. And I was so in love with those stitched, yeah, you know, it's not stitched, but the die cut machine makes it like this. It's like some kind of embossed. And I was so in love with those things that I mentioned in one of my videos that I would love to have some of those elements that make this stitching things. And she was so kind. She was in a craft store, and she found those in different shapes. And then she thought about me and she asked me if she shall buy them for me. So we did a little deal. So she bought them for me and sent them to me. And then she got some digital printables from me because she was so sweet for doing that. And yeah, I just wanted to, what is this? I just wanted to let you know that I'm really happy to have such people around me. That's so cool because, yeah, where do you find those people? I think only in this craft community and in this junk journaling community. There are so many people that we don't know in person, and sometimes we go to a craft store or we see a piece of a fabric and we think about a special person. And I think that's a really special thing, really special. And I'm so in love with all of you. And it's so, yeah. I'm just grateful to have you all here. And that's a really amazing thing. So here I did the same thing with this fabric. On the one hand, to get this purple a little bit balanced. So we have this little tiny purple thing that shows here from this paper. That is peeking out here, and this thing was really purple and really pinky, so I decided to, yeah, overload this page with much more pink and purple. And so I decided to give the thread here this fabric scraps as well. Please tell me if you have ever seen that. I would be really interested. Perhaps there are some other variations of this and you have some tutorial links or that stuff, or some, you know what I mean, some people who did that and did a video. I would be really interested in that. So please feel free, if you have a link, to place it into the comment section down below the video. Yeah, and I'm totally in love with tickets at the moment. Perhaps you have recognized that during this flip through here. Here, by the way, if you have some old t-shirts or that stuff, or even pillowcases, and you have buttons that are sewn to the thing, then just make a scrap and use it in such a snippet roll. I haven't seen that before as well. I think the people have sewn the buttons after they have sewn the snippet roll, but why not using such things where the buttons are here? So you don't have to sew them later when they are there. Okay, so here we come to the end. Here's the same technique like in the front of this journal. Here's this sturdy pocket, this sturdy thing here. Excuse me, please. And when you close it, you have it here. And I just made some kind of a new thing to my journals. So this is journal number 63 that I have made in my life. And I saw that that some of the junk journal artists number their journals. So I don't know if that's the right word, sorry. So they put a number in into every journal so that they know which journal it is. You already got me. Sorry, I can't explain that in English. And I think the first time I saw it on the channel of Shana from Shanuki. Hi Shana, if you are watching that. And I was so in love with this idea, and I thought, okay, can I do that even if I haven't done it from the first journal. So, I mean, my first journal doesn't have this 1. The second doesn't have the number 2 in it. And yeah, so I thought a really long time if I can start that, even if the other journals don't have that. And to be honest, I'm really, really confused, and it's a really weird feeling, and I'm just thinking about sending the numbers from 1 to 62 to the people who have the journals from 1 to 62 so that they can glue that into their journal. I know I'm strange, but I think I can't live with that. I'm happy that I did it and that I brought myself to this point that I could do it, but I'm really sad that the other journals don't have these numbers. So what would you do if you have this problem and you started with number 63? What would you do? Would you take some scraps and stamp that and make your sign and send that to the people who have the other journals? Because of course I know the people who have the other 62 journals that I made. Can you please help me and let me know what you would do? I would be really happy about that. I'm strange, I know. I'm so strange. Okay, so that's it from me for today. And I just think I have to cut some of those things. It's also really new for me to leave these things, but it's fitting this dragonfly theme as well, because they are, yeah, like this. Dragonflies are like this. Do you know what I mean? This bzz, bzz, bzz. And so I couldn't cut that. I had to leave that here because it's this bzz, bzz as well. Yeah, okay. So hopefully you can understand me. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, write a comment. If you have any questions, please write comments and I will try my best to answer your questions. If you are interested in those printable papers that I've used in this journal, please check out the info box. I have written down all the single items that I've used here so that you can check that out. And I want to thank you very, very much for watching and for being here with me again. It's really, really a pleasure for me to have you all here. And I hope we will see the next time. Have a very, very creative time. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.